Welcome back to the Babbling with Besties podcast with Melli.
And Akasa.
And we have a special guest with us today, Chef Pham. How you doing?
What's going on, ladies? I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, first and foremost.
Oh, of course, anytime, anytime. And I'm excited that you're here.
Thank you. Excited to be on here.
Now, I know the things that yours were your two sauces, your mango and your pineapple. And when I tell you they are delicious, and I literally was waiting for the UPS truck to come. And as soon as they put it on the ground, I literally snatched it up and went in the house and started eating both of them at the same time. I know your sister was laughing at me.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So I am always an advocate, and I almost literally ate both jars the same day, and then I had to like slow down. And a few people had came over and they have tried it and they loved it. My husband included, he loves it. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait. I'm trying to pace myself with eating it, but you don't gotta worry because I'll be ordering more.
I know. I was about to say now you got to order more, so it doesn't seem as bad.
Thank you for your support.
So again, I'm sorry.
Now, I said thank you for your support, first and foremost.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, first of all, let me tell you guys, I've known Chef Pham for many years, many years. So when he decided to be a chef, I was actually shocked. But I am so happy. You've always been like a driven person, so it's not a shock that you're successful. I'm just surprised that you became a chef. So what made you want to become a chef?
Um, I just love cooking. Growing up in Vietnam, um, watch my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunts, uncle, mom, and pops. They cook all the time, so I I always want to be in the kitchen and mess with the flavor. I don't know. It's just something that just pick it up and just. I went to school for it, but I dropped out of school, and everything I've learned, is all self-taught. So it's
That's
just
good.
something I'm good at.
That's good. Yes, I agree.
Right. I feel like that's even better because even though like school is not for everyone, so I kind of
Yeah.
understand why. But that passion and that drive that people have without like just going to school and just like teaching themselves to cook and then it comes out good, it's always like beautiful to me because it's like you're putting your heart into what you do.
Yeah.
And, and one thing about like cooking, I know about cooking is like, you know, when somebody preparing the food, you could tell what kind of mood they in and how they were how
Hmm.
prepare is either with love or they just try to rush things just to get it done.
Hmm.
Right.
I agree because that's how my food comes out. If I have the time and the patience and I'm in a good mood, you can taste the difference rather than if I just slap something in a bowl and call it food. Nobody appreciates that much, but
Oh man. Like, yeah, so like cooking always been a part of me. Like I always love cooking, even though Mel, you know me, like growing up I my head wasn't in the right place, but I finally found something that I love.
yes. And I'm so glad. I'm so happy for you. You and your beautiful family. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to meet your wife and your son. Which
Thank you.
actually, you know what? I think I did, but it was very briefly. I think at your nephew's birthday party. But that's besides the point.
We're here to talk about the sauce. Let's talk about it.
Well, okay. So, do you have any other sauces that you do, or are those like your main thing?
Well, well, you know what? It's funny because I came up with the sauce in 2014. It was nothing like what it is now. Um, it was just, somehow, some way, I just came up with the ingredient. I was marinating meat, and I forgot about it. Time went by. I didn't think about it, and one day at work, I was like, let me just make my sauce, and I did it on tacos, and people love it. So I was like,
Ooh.
cool. Let me incorporate certain things. I went from make putting honey into my sauce, and I took the honey out, and I put agave in there to make it like 100% vegan.
Hmm.
Ooh, that sounds good. Sorry, I'm getting hungry.
Oh my goodness. So that's good. And that was gonna be like the next question I was gonna ask you is just like the nutritious values. But I do know, and I noticed even in your videos that you use all like fresh vegetables and stuff like that, and you can taste the difference.
Yes, yes. I usually use like all organic. I try to use as much organic as possible.
Hmm.
Because Fam Famous is something I came up with because of my son. That's my inspiration, like to come up with this thing because kids, they ain't cheap. College ain't cheap.
Yeah,
It sure
yes.
isn't.
So I came up with Fam Famous, so that just I'm trying to set my son up somehow, some way in the near future, and things like that. But anyways, go back to it. Is I came up with the sauce. It's like nowadays, everybody try to go like very health conscious, try to
Yeah.
eat healthier. I'm trying to give them flavor with a healthy option, if it make any sense.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Because that's what I'm trying to do too. Like with cooking, I try to cook more like fresh everything. And like my husband and I, we started fishing recently.
Oh,
And
nice.
we try to catch the fish and fillet it ourselves and cook it like fresh from our own stuff instead of buying it in the store all the time too. So like we're trying like to do things a little bit differently, try not to use so much salt and substitute it with other things that it's not a bland taste, but it also, it tastes really good without being bland.
Yeah. Hey, you should try the pink salt, Himalayan salt.
Yes, I haven't tried it. I've
Ooh, I
seen
have that.
That's what I use in all my cooking, in my sauce. I don't use white salt or anything like that. I'm trying, like I said, try to go as healthy as possible.
it. Oh, he tells us a
Okay.
secret.
Right. Well,
I
getting into different cooking tips, I wanted to see because I'm not a cook in no way, shape, or
at
form.
all.
Like, but what like I do want to learn how to cook. Um, but what tips can you give like people like me that like to eat but don't know how to really cook? Like, where do I start?
First and foremost, invest in a thermometer. Thermometer is the biggest thing for people that learn how to cook, so that they can control the temperature of their protein and things like that.
Yeah.
Meat, you're supposed to chicken and things like that. You're supposed to cook to like 168. Sometimes people overcook or undercook. So like chicken breast, for prime example, you overcook that thing is nasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hard.
Yeah, it's dry and things like that. But yeah, like I said, like first and foremost, a thermometer is the biggest, is the best investment for somebody who learned how to cook. To be quite honest, cooking from one of the chef that I learned from, he told me all you really need is salt, pepper, and some herbs. You don't really need anything else.
Hmm. And I believe that. I do believe that. As
So
long as you know what you're doing or in the ratios, it'll be okay. All this other stuff is kind of unnecessary. But I did tell you that with everything going on with Goya, you need to come out with some sazon and some adobo and sell it because it will sell.
Yeah, fuck Goya.
hey, I, I'll work on it. I promise. I'll work on it. Right now, I just don't want to juggle around. I want to focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I tend to focus on one thing and try to go something else. I messed up my tunnel vision. So
Gotcha. But don't let that slip away. Keep that in the back of your mind whenever you get a chance, just to experiment. And you can always, send me some, and I'll try it and tell you, yeah.
Try to get the hook up. You can send it to me first.
And then I'll tell you if it's good to sell.
hey, for sure, no problem at all.
No, but there's like I've for the past couple of years I've seen like a lot of pictures and stuff of food that you had made, and literally just looking at the picture it made my mouth water, and I am so sad that you're all the way in Florida right now. So, it's unrealistic to be like, okay, I'm gonna make you a plate and then send it, and by the time I get it, it's not good, but I cannot
Well,
wait to
you're
visit.
welcome at any time.
Oh, don't you tempt me with a good time.
Welcome here anytime.
Oh
Hey,
my.
I'm in Georgia, so I could just drive over and get some of your sauce.
Hey, what's that like? 10 out, 10 out. It depends where you are in Georgia, right? It's like a eight between like an 8 to 10 hour drive.
Yeah, depending on because I'm leaving from Atlanta.
Okay. Where am I? I'm right by Tampa, so
Yeah, it's a drive. But
Oh
you know
yeah,
what?
it
I'll
is.
I'll start driving. I'll stop, pick her up, and we'll keep going.
Right.
Plus my sister lives in Florida, and so I can always make a trip out of it. Don't worry. I'll just have to come to your house every day to eat.
no problem with that. Y'all more than welcome.
Now, I know you did say that you do specialize in Vietnamese food, which I love. Is there any like certain dish that you love to make?
So my favorite thing to make is I love to cook pho. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Yeah, I've tried it once and I did like it, but I think it depends on where you go to have it too.
Correct, correct. Like the real way to make it, like when I make it, it take me at least 8 to 10 hours to make the broth alone.
I believe it.
But the one thing that I love to cook is a Vietnamese sandwich. It's called banh mi. I specialize in that. Every time I make it, it's a banger. Never fail.
Oh, I gotta try it one day. I have like a whole list of things that I want to
Oh
try.
my god, and I'm like so hungry right now. I just ate. We're talking about food.
She's always hungry. Don't pay her no more.
See, it's funny that we talk about food. You guys get hungry. Like when I cook, I don't eat. I can't eat
Yeah.
because I'm around it so much that I'm already full by just thinking my next.
Yeah.
Right. That's you know what? That's not surprising because a lot of times when I see like my family cook, they'll do the same thing because they're constantly like tasting it, and by the time they're done, they're like, all right, I'll just nibble on something, but I'm not gonna eat a whole plate.
Yeah, because like when you're cooking, you tasting things, so you eating as you go, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, Akasa, you can learn some pointers. You
I
see
know. That's like
how you well you cook.
because you know what it is. Some things like I can visualize. I'm a visual learner, so when I'm looking at someone cooking, that's how I learn. Like I learned to make mac and cheese like that. But if someone, I don't know what it is about someone trying to teach me how to cook. Maybe my family traumatized me, but like it's a weird thing because they're like very impatient, so maybe that's why it's hard for me to learn how to cook. They messing up in the kitchen, burning water.
Maybe I should come up with more cooking videos so you can watch and learn how to make certain things.
That would be
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Also, back to what you were saying about your broth, I would love if you taught me how to make broth or gave me pointers because I know this is very different from like Vietnamese food, but I have a thing for Japanese food. Well, Japanese everything, but Japanese food, and I wanted to make my own like homemade ramen, but I wanted to make my homemade broth. And I know it's gonna take a lot of hours, but I don't even know where to start.
Um, the flavor, huh? The ramen is really like easy. It's more or less like the salt, like the sodium, um,
Mhm.
fish sauce and things like that they use in the broth. I could give you the whole thing offline. I could give you the whole recipe
Okay.
offline. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm very happy with that.
Now, what is your favorite meal to cook? Like, no matter what style it is.
No. Um, my go-to. You know what? Believe it or not, it's crazy. Like my go-to is always like a cup of udon noodles and some rice.
Something quick and easy.
Yeah, it's funny because like sometimes even when I cook at home or I do catering and things like that, I I cook up a bunch of stuff, and by the time I'm done, my wife like, oh, you're not gonna eat? And like, nah, I'm good. Just make me a cup of noodles. It's funny.
You'll be like, I know damn well.
Right.
I have a
You
question.
just you ain't bring home no food.
Now, I have another question for you. So, your wife is Indian?
My wife is Indian, yes.
So, does she cook any of her like cuisines, or have you learned any of her cuisines?
Yeah, I learned like a lot from her mom. Uh,
Hmm.
I learned how to cook like they Punjabi, so their style of food is very different. When
Right.
when you hear Indian, people think like, oh, they don't eat meat and things like that. They eat everything.
Right.
I learned how to cook like the way that they make the chicken, the goat meat, their lamb, and things like that.
Oh, I'm getting hungry too. Oh God.
Here we go again.
But that's good though because your catalog gets bigger as far as what you can make.
Correct.
You're not just, subjected to one type of anything. And I'm sure you've mastered like American food because you've been here forever too. So that's also a good thing.
Yeah, like American food is good. Depends what it is. It's mainly it's easy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that American cuisine is not good or anything like that, but mainly it's easy. Me, I like to dig for like more like Spain, like South American food, or like
Yeah.
even like somewhere in Southeast Asia, in India, or like some even like Moroccan flavor.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds so good. But you know what? I don't even know like what an actual American cuisine is because everything that we have, even like spaghetti and stuff, is not from America. Well, we
Indeed,
chicken.
if American food is like French fries, right, and burgers. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and I don't even like burgers like that. Like I like burgers, but I usually honestly don't order burgers ever. Like ever. And I don't
Have a
like
good?
I oh go ahead.
No, I said maybe you never had a good one.
Maybe. But you know what? A lot of people also say like if you have your meat, like your burgers and your steak well done, it doesn't taste good. But it's something about seeing the pink in the blood and I'm just like
Yeah, I can't get
it's not
with
appetizing for me.
medium rare, anything
Exactly.
like no, I can't get with it.
What?
Yes.
That's the best. Like medium, just a little pink in it. It's the best way to make a steak.
Well, you got to make it for me and then I'll try it.
For sure. For sure. No
Nobody,
problem.
I can't
Let's
get
make.
past the look of it.
Well, you'll get past the look of it. It depends, like like if I make like a teriyaki beef, like steak, like sirloin and things like that. The color of the teriyaki and things like that will throw that pinkness off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah. So you don't even know.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's like an illusion. Like it's just like magic. It's what you do with your food. It's like the same thing. You can hide flavor. You can add flavor. You can hide certain looks and things like that.
Oh. Oh,
Now,
goodness.
what is the most difficult I guess entree to cook? Like something that you're like, "Oh my god, this is going to take me forever," or like this is going to be like a lot.
You know what? Like as easy as it is, meatloaf.
Really?
Sometimes it's so hard. Like as soon as you have to when you get it out, you got to cool it down a little bit because it's too hot. You cut it, you mess it up. I always mess it up. I'm not afraid to say it.
But you know what? I don't really have nothing to compare to other than my own, so I probably make it completely wrong. So I'm like, really? But last time I burnt mine. Well, that wasn't my fault, but whatever. That's another story.
What? Who fault
When
was
it
it
comes to
then?
cooking, there's no such thing as right or wrong. You know, if the flavor is there, there's no such thing as like, oh, you cooking it wrong because you didn't. Everybody have their own style of cooking. You know what I mean? Like if you ask, I always bring this example up to everybody who asks me certain questions. I always say, if you put 10 chefs in the kitchen and you tell them to make pizza, you're gonna get 10 different kind of pizza, but you still get the pizza.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I was ashamed of that meatloaf. Just that was the first, and I was like, this cannot be life. I do better than this. And you want to know that's something that's funny?
What's that?
Now, when after I had graduated high school, and like during the summer, I had went down to Virginia, and I applied at the Culinary Institute of Virginia, and I passed. I got in, passed whatever test they gave me, and I was going to move down there, and like 2 weeks before I was supposed to move, because my cousin lived down there, so I was just gonna like live with her, get a job, and go to school down there. But my mom found out I was pregnant with Lana, and she was like, "Well, I don't want you to be down there by yourself." And and I'm all the way up here, I can't help you, so I didn't end up going. So like I understand what you mean by like passion for cooking, because I was there. Like I still have a passion for cooking, but now like with because I'm in college and stuff, and with the kids, and I just don't have the time to actually do what I want to do, like, and have it come out good. I have like very limited time. I'm like, you know what, let me just throw something together real quick so they can eat, they have a bedtime, they got school, I got work, or whatever the case is. Like I don't have the time that I would need to properly cook whatever dish.
Um, first and foremost, first and foremost, I want to shout out to all the moms out there who are on their grind, going to school, go to work with children. First and foremost,
No, I mean I feel you, and I think so too, but my life is so hectic. Like I have 4 kids. I have like I just stopped working in March because of the whole coronavirus thing. So like I'm home, but it seems like I wake up and it's breakfast, and I swear to God, I feel like I do one thing, like I wash the dishes and load the dishwasher, and it's lunchtime. And then I blink again, and now it's dinner time. And I'm like, how? And then I just got done with my summer courses yesterday, or no, Sunday. So like, and then I had to incorporate that. So I'm like, I don't have time. I barely have time to sleep. Like, and if I can sleep, I don't go to sleep until like 4 a.m. So now I'm tired all day. So
uh,
it's like I just gotta find a balance, but I think I can do it. But sometimes I do, if it's like the weekend and I don't have nothing to do, then I'll try to take on a recipe that takes longer to do. Or if my kids are not here, they're my in-laws, because I usually like to make stuffed cabbage,
mhm.
and it's time consuming. I mean, it's not horribly time consuming, but there's a lot of steps to do it. But
Correct.
it usually comes out so good.
See, you see
So
what I mean? Like you have time. You could do it. Like you guys, people don't give women enough. What's that word? I'm trying to look.
like
Credit.
credit.
Yeah. You guys could do anything. You guys put your mind into it. That's how I see it. So.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
No
thank
problem.
you.
It's so nice to see what like people. Well, of course, we're pretty much around. Well, you're older than us, but you're still around the same age. But it's nice to see that like we all knew each other for so many years, and we still can communicate. And you are very successful. You're the most successful one out of the three of us so far.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would. I'm not successful until my son is good. That's how I see things. It's just the grind never stopped. Now, like I'm telling you, the grind never stopped. I work 9 to 5. On the weekend, I find time. I make sauce or I do catering and things like that. But I'm not there yet. I appreciate it, but I'm not there yet. I feel like we are successful.
Well, you have like your career already kind of going. That's what I
Right.
mean by that. So like you're doing good for yourself. And I'm very proud of you. If I haven't said that already, I would think I did, but I'm gonna tell you again. I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Now, let me see what else we want to say. There was another question I had. I forget. Is there anything that you want to say yourself?
We basically touched a lot of bases, like I said, that's about it. Like, just really appreciate you guys having me on here to talk about what I do and things like that. To even like a little promotion of like on the sauce and things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
It
yeah,
deserves promotion. It's really good. Like no cap. Like I'm not even playing. It's really really good. Like really
Yeah.
like exquisite. Like there's not a flaw in it at all. And I appreciate that because there's some things that like you want to support somebody so you support them, but then you kind of don't want to support them again because you don't really like it. Like no, this is something that I really really like. When I tell you I really like it, and I just had before, I think the day before my sauces came, I had two teeth pulled, two wisdom teeth pulled on my left side, and I did not care. I was not supposed to eat it, and I didn't get
I
the fuck.
remember you telling me
That's
that.
I'm not supposed to like to taste the blood after the fact. But I had took my medicine, so I was like, okay, I can kind of eat a little bit. So a little bit became a lot of bit, and then I suffered later, but it was worth it.
oh my god. I remember you telling me like soon as she got her sausage, she's like, "Oh my god, you gotta order these. These are so good."
Hey, how about this? I'm making sauce this weekend. I'll send you guys one each.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, yeah.
well, I'm also gonna put in another order, so you could just throw that in the box too.
Yay!
I just shipped out like 24 jars today.
I
Oh
see. I see
wow,
the
Lord.
box. I was like, ooh, my name ain't on them, but I gotta get one.
Hey, yeah, another good thing about the sauce is that is literally like all purpose, and it's all natural and all flavor. I promote it like that because it have a meaning behind it. You know, the sauce, you can literally do anything. You can use it as a marinade. You can use it as salsa. You can use it as salad dressing, or you can throw it on top of your ready to eat food.
Ooh.
There's nothing that you can't do with the sauce. I'm trying to work on how to put that sauce in ice cream.
Okay. And
Oh
I'm
right.
sure you can do it though. I'm sure you can do it. If they could make mayonnaise ice cream, you will be perfectly fine.
Wait, what?
You never
Mayonnaise
had
ice
mayonnaise,
cream?
girl. You don't want to know.
I
You know,
I
put bacon and all that
scared of
crap
it.
on there.
I never thought about putting it on salads. I love salads. So that will be a good idea whenever I get more because, I'm a fat fuck and I eat everything like the day I get it. So
Like, You know,
I,
you don't need to put that much on there anyway, Mel. All you need is literally 3 tablespoons, and you're good for your salad.
yeah, that's not bad. Oh, I know you told me that I can marinate like my meats and stuff with it. And I'm like, if I marinate my meats, I'm probably gonna take majority of my jar, but then I can't use it as salsa if I use it all on that. And I'm greedy and I'm selfish and I want it to myself. You should have
No,
seen the look on my face. I was like standing in the kitchen by the sink, dipping my I had both salsa open, dip in one chip, eat it, dip it in the other one, eat it. And my husband was on his way out and he picked up a chip, dipped it in, and I looked at him like I was about to kill him, like, how dare you touch my stuff? And then literally, no lie, he literally went outside, closed the door like he was leaving, and then came back and got more. I was like, I was like, oh, you like it? He's like, oh, this is really good. And then I was like, yeah, I know. Don't touch my stuff no more. But he's like a critic of everything. Like if we go to a restaurant and it usually pisses me off because I'm like, can you just like sit down and just eat and just be happy? But we'll go to a restaurant and he'll like pick apart everything about his meal, like everything. And he does that with movies too. Well, we both do that with movies, but that's how we get along. But when we go to a restaurant, like I want to chill and eat. I don't want to hear about your complaints. I'm enjoying my food. You need to just go to Burger King or something and get something. So to hear him say that, I was like, oh wow, good. I'm glad. I wish you didn't take all my sauce, but I'm glad you like it. It's just me, you know.
I appreciate that. I really do.
You
Now,
know what you have to do? You have to like sit in your car. Like sometimes, like if I know I don't want to share, I'll sit in my car and eat because I don't have time to be like, oh, can I have no. Mm-mm.
exactly. I'm gonna have to go in the basement and just sit there. Mom, are you done? I'm doing laundry. Just wait.
I'm busy. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm working.
And they don't even ask. They'll just be like, "What's that?" Oh, and then
I,
they'll like hold
I
their
like
mouth open like they're you about to share.
yeah, I like chips and dip. Oh, I'm glad you do. I do too. That's why I'm sitting here eating them. Go away. Now,
Uh,
Chef Pham, one more question for you. Like, are
yes.
you working on anything else, like anything new or any new sauce flavors, or are you just like doing your thing with what you have for now?
Well, so I'm planning on bringing the original flavor back. You know, the original flavor. It doesn't have any fruits in it. Because sometimes when people eat certain things, they don't want to have that fruit flavor in there. Um,
Mhm.
so that's my goal right now. To try to put just three flavor. Because if I give them everything now, I have nothing to show later.
That's true.
You know, I have a lot. I have few tricks up my sleeves. You know, I even make like salad dressing and things like that, like vinaigrettes and things like that. But
Mhm.
right now, like my main thing, to be quite honest, when I first came out to Florida, my main goal was to get a food truck, and
Ooh,
yeah, food truck. I still that's still in the back of my mind, but my wife always said like, hey, you have your sauce, you have something go in your hand. Why not put 100% towards that?
Right.
that's true. She's
And
a
then
smart.
you can always build on that and then, save enough to get a food truck.
That's true too.
Well, my to be quite honest, like I'm big on food on like some chain. Like I just don't want to have food truck. Like I'm just big on like branching out. So um right now I'm actually focusing on getting my sauce in the stores and things like that. So
That would be awesome. Oh my goodness. But I
yeah.
would still want to buy directly from you just so that there's no third party.
I
Like you
appreciate
could get the complete amount. I don't know how it works, but I'm just thinking like they would get get a percentage, and of course you would get something. But I would want my entire money to go to you because I love to support my friends and people that I deal with directly.
uh-huh.
So
Hey, maybe we could work for
you
sponsorship. Hey, we could maybe we could talk about it later on. Sponsorship. I just thought about that.
yeah,
Word.
yes, yes. Oh, and I have one more question for you, and I know this is has nothing to do with anything, but
No?
so me and JB, he's my husband, we are planning to have a vow renewal wedding.
Uh,
And we're planning on having it on at our 10th year. It was supposed to be five, now it's 10. Would you be willing to cater?
of course, anything. If you need something, please let me know. Time and place.
Of
We'll
course.
make it happen.
Yes, yes. We're coming up on five, so we still got 5 years. But I would like for you. I think that you would rock the house and give everybody like a shocker because I don't think that we'll be expecting that, and I don't think that. y- I think you have a very unique flavor to your foods. So I would love that if you could do that for me.
I appreciate it. No problem. No problem. Anytime. If there's anything I can do to help, you know that like that's just me. If anything I can do to help, I'm all for it.
Well, you've always been a thoroughbred, so I don't even got no hesitations or nothing from you. So I ain't worried about it.
And I
Appreciate it.
think the goal is to like create a good ecosystem. We were talking about that in previous episodes, but like to create this ecosystem where everyone supports everyone. So like what I was gonna say about, I know you live in Florida, but like if you ever came to Atlanta, and especially with a food truck or anything that you're doing, Atlanta would just like eat that up because they love stuff like that. So like we are trying to create an ecosystem where everyone just is in support of each other, and like that's how we get in a better position.
Correct, and I agree with you 1,000%. We have to get out of a mindset of thinking like a crap in a bucket.
Yeah.
Because once we help each other, that's like unity is the biggest thing. That's I always been on that type of mode.
Right.
Like I hate like thinking like a crap in a bucket because I came a lot across a lot of friends like that, and I hate it to the maximum. So I agree with you 1,000%.
All right, so Chef Fam, where can people reach you if they want to see your foods or make an order?
They can follow me on Instagram at underscore fams is PHAMS underscore famous FAMOUS.
Perfect. Do you want your voice and opinions to be heard? Have you ever thought about creating your very own podcast?
Well, we have the perfect app for you. Anchor is the best way to record, edit, and distribute your own podcast. It's easy to use and it's all free.
They have creation tools that will help you to edit your podcast, as well as free transition sounds and intro and outro music to make your podcast run smoothly.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many more. And you can also make money from your podcast too.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. You can access it on your computer or even on your phone. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.FM to get started. Okay, guys. Any black-owned businesses or any businesses?
Yeah, so it's maintain dot be spoken barbering. It's MAINTAIN dot B is BESPOKE barbering.
Perfect. And Akasa, what's your business?
So I actually got some goodies over the weekend, or well, not the weekend. What am I talking about? Yesterday. I don't even know what day it is. Anyway, so I actually ordered. This is my cousin's business named after my aunt. It's called Mama Rocks Candles and Soaps. And they like the body scrub that she sent me was amazing. My skin feels so soft. And she also sent me a candle and some soap. So hit them up. It's Mama Rocks Candles, MAMAROXCANDLES.
So
Perfect,
I gotta
guys.
What'd you say?
no, I say I gotta support. I'm definitely gonna order something
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
That'd be awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for you guys today.
Thank you for
Thank,
listening, guys.
thank you. And we will see you next week.
Thank you, ladies.
You're very welcome.